Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I'm excited. No, first of all, I want to say that everything is going well and everything is unfolding perfectly. Everyone's well. I know it. And I'm excited yet again because my next extraordinary guest is dedicated to hypno-psychotherapy, ESP educator and healing practitioner, specializing in energy-based and consciousness expanding modalities. Wow. As the founder of Altramind Hypnotherapy and the Healing Room, she integrates all her modalities to help individuals unlock their hidden potential and a whole lot more. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Natalie Gardner. How are you doing today, Natalie?
I'm great, Luke, to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that I am a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend a moment of your time here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to express my sincerest gratitude to you. Thank you very much for being here at this present moment. Thank you.
And thank you to you too.
Yes. Let's just get right into it. There's something that stood out, a lot of things that stood out in the information that I'm reading up on you. But first, can you elaborate a bit on you being trained in Tesla Metamorphosis Energy Healing? Give us a little insight on that. That sounds amazing.
Do you know, it's funny because I was thinking, what is Luke going to ask me today? And that's the first thing that popped into my mind. And I actually got organized because I never know what you're going to say.
Yes.
I got
See?
organized. So Tesla Metamorphosis, I put the reason why I got organized, I brought the book in from the lady who, now I don't know if you can see it
Yes.
because I've got the blur on, but
Yeah, no, we see it right there, right there. Go back again. You had it. Go up, forward. No, we saw it. Yeah.
you
Tesla
saw it.
Meta right there. Right there. We can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just for a glimpse and then it doesn't focus
Yeah,
again. Tesla
Tesla
There it
Metamorphosis. We
is.
see it right there. Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so I discovered it just by I don't even know how I discovered it. I guess one thing led to another on the net. I flew over to Sydney because I live in South Australia
Oh,
and
okay.
flew over to Sydney with my husband actually, and we learnt the Tesla Metamorphosis technique.
Right.
So it was invented by Anya Petrovic. And
Right.
when I say invented, that's probably a bad word, really. Not invented, but her story, look at that on the internet. If you type in her name and Tesla Metamorphosis, she explains in detail how this technique, this modality came to her. Because I believe through what she explained, it's through Tesla himself, Nikola Tesla, we're talking
Nikola
about,
Tesla.
not the
Yes,
car.
absolutely. I'm a fan of Nikola Tesla, and I read on him. I come across his information and his research often. So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, so this is a healing modality. It's akin to Reiki, but there's no touch. But you learn different hand techniques, and what we're actually doing is we are with our hands we can feel the energy. It's almost like a bit of magnetism, a bit like I explain it a bit like a soft marshmallow. You can feel that there's some sort of gentle magnetism there coming from the person. So the person's lying down and you, as a conduit, we're always the
Right.
conduit,
Right.
let the energy in and through our hands
Right.
radiate. And I guess it's a scalar wave, but they call it a Tesla wave.
Okay.
And people who practice Tesla metamorphosis are called Teslians.
Okay.
And the energy is different. With traditional Reiki, see they've used a PIP camera,
Oh,
and a
what?
PIP camera, similar to a Kirlian photography, but a PIP camera picks up energy, and
Yes.
it
Okay.
you see, yeah, okay. So
Okay.
they have filmed Anya doing a healing with the PIP camera, and they can see that normally I'm just going to say Reiki, but any sort of, I guess, traditional healing modality, you see the
Right.
colors Now it's green, definitely, and it could be yellow, but don't quote me on that one.
Okay.
But the difference is that with Tesla, you see the color purple. And so
Okay.
that
Is that
um
the color purple vibrating off people, or is it their aura?
it is their aura, their energy, yes.
Right.
So just give me one sec. Sorry, Frank, I can hear that. It's very loud. Sorry. I'm so
No, we
sorry. You
can't
may
hear
need to edit
anything
it.
on here. I think the way
Oh,
that
great.
the microphones are especially with the technology with Zoom, and it's okay if we're transparent here. Uh,
Yeah.
it it only picks up in a certain radius, so you can hear that, but it doesn't come through the
Oh,
speak the
good.
microphone. Yeah.
Good, because it was actually like a bottle depot here just a minute
Yeah,
ago.
because I used to think that too. I would hear
Right.
noises in my background, and then I thought to myself, "Wow, when I go to play this back, it's going to be in there." Never. So
Oh,
no,
thank you, Luke. You've made
yeah,
me feel better
no,
about that.
it won't. It doesn't even
Yeah,
pick it
so
up. Go
that's
ahead,
great.
Natalie.
All right, thank you. So, picking up where we left off, it is
Okay,
the aura of the person and
right,
the particular Tesla waves, that particular scalar wave, I guess, it is a
right,
different wave, but I don't know the technicalities. I just know how to practice that and do it. But it comes through on a pip camera as a purple color.
okay,
If you go onto Anya Petrovic's, like you just type her name in and Tesla Metamorphosis, she actually has videos on that. And I've got it also on my website called thehealingroom.com.au.
.au.
And I
Okay,
put a little video of her. So when it comes to, if you want to choose Tesla Metamorphosis as a modality, you press on that and then you'll see the video of it and you'll see her having an interview with people. I think they're doctors and they're actually validating this modality, which is really exciting.
right. That's amazing. So, what is the main? And if I missed it, pardon me, but what is the main purpose of this?
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Healing.
Oh yeah,
Healing.
healing. Okay. So healing as far as everything. Physically, emotional, mental.
Yes,
Okay.
we can have an intention. So, as a conduit, I have an intention to facilitate healing, and
Right.
they have an intention of what they want to heal.
Right.
But so intention is important. But what happens is really it'll go to where that person needs it. It's an
Right.
intelligence.
Wow. Okay.
So, it's just setting up a platform for healing, and the clinician, if you like, the practitioner being the conduit for the healing, and the person wanting it.
Right.
And so it's healing, but through that Tesla wave.
Yes, yes, and wow, I share a lot of Tesla quotes and has read up a lot of in regards to Tesla's research and his energy and just everything he's found. The man was so phenomenal and
Oh, he
amazing, and
was.
it's not to really get into it, but it's a shame that there were people out there wanting to take and use and suppress his research, and yeah,
Yeah,
it was quite sad, you know.
yeah. The duality of things, at least, that tells us, gives us a lesson in itself, the duality of nature.
Right,
So we
right.
can learn from that, and future generations can learn from what happened, and then protect their knowledge, perhaps do things differently. We can all learn from that. What did I want to say about Tesla metamorphosis? Um, oh, that's just gone out of my head. Doesn't matter. It'll come back later.
Yes, it certainly will. So you're the founder of Ultra Hypnotherapy.
Yeah,
Now,
ultra mind with an A. Yeah,
yeah, Ultra Mind
mind.
Hypnotherapy. Give us a little insight on that.
Oh, okay. What I actually do, or do you want to know how I ended up there? Because that could be a long story.
Yeah, basically what I mean, I know it's around hypnotherapy, but how did it come to be? Just give us the condensed version and
All right,
yeah, what
very
you do.
condensed.
Yeah.
All right, very condensed. I'll try. Okay. Okay, so I unfortunately became divorced. I'm remarried now, but
Right,
divorced about 8 years ago.
right,
And when I was the divorce took 3 years to come through,
right,
and I was shifting into a new place, an old house, but a new place for me.
right,
Cutting a long story short, I was waving to the new neighbour as I was unpacking my gear out the car, and he wasn't waving back. And he was an elderly man, I would say in his 80s. He was short and he looked frail. Anyway, cut a long story short, he didn't wave back. A few days later, I was speaking to the neighbours, other people that came out of that house. I only had one neighbour on one side. And she said, oh, yeah, I'm a single mum too. I live here with my mum and my daughter. And I said, and your dad, making the assumption that man lived in the house and was her father.
Right.
Long story short, I was waving at a ghost. This man
Oh.
was her father indeed. I said, oh, well, there was somebody going through your bins because he was at the bins with these little bags for a long time. And so
And you
I
saw
said,
him
well,
with your own eyes.
yes. And he was not see-through like, a ghost.
Looked
He
like a
was
regular person.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is where it all started, Lute. I started questioning everything because when she said, I said, oh, I was, because we were concerned. We're both single mums living next to each other. And now who's going through our bins?
Right.
And so she said, what did he look like? And when I described him, she just said, that's my dad. Because I said he had a concave chest, he had greying hair, slicked back. He was really thin, and he had this blue and white check shirt on,
Mm.
like we used to call them back in my day druggy tops.
Okay.
They're like a flannelette shirt with
Yes.
a
Yeah.
collar and buttons,
Okay.
and it was a blue and white checked one. We used to call
Right.
them druggy tops. I don't know why. But anyway, she said, that's my dad. And we couldn't get that shirt off of him. And all the hairs stood up on my
You
body.
saw him.
And yeah, and she, the same, she just went silent. And nothing was spoken about that afterwards until a long time down the track later that year
Right.
when I questioned her about it because I had to process that as well, that I was waving at a ghost.
Right. He couldn't
So
see you.
well, I think he could, but I think he was letting me know that he was around, his
Right.
presence. He didn't feel scary or anything. He felt
Right.
quite friendly, but
Peaceful.
there,
Yes.
yeah, peaceful. But there just wasn't that connection, and that's fine. Um, so hence I started questioning everything. Have I seen ghosts before? And I thought, yeah, I have. When I was a little girl, I saw my granddad when he passed away. He
Right.
was in a room. I was playing with toys with my brother, and he showed up sitting on a chair, and he turned towards us and just smiled. And I remember telling my parents about that, but parents don't believe things, and so
Right.
nothing.
Right.
And then it led on to other things, and there's lots of. I wrote a book about it, and I actually have that here somewhere. Here it is.
That's good
I
because
wrote
I
a
was
book
going to
about
ask you about that book.
yeah. So I wrote this book. It's called Discover Your Hidden Potential
You see it.
because I
Yes.
wrote these I call them breadcrumbs to where I am now and discovering who I truly am.
Right.
So that pinnacle moment of seeing that ghost with my own eyes that look like a normal person
Right.
made me question everything, led me from one breadcrumb to another.
Right.
It led me to a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza called Becoming Supernatural.
Yes. Joe Dispenza. I'm very familiar with Joe Dispenza. Yes.
Yeah, he's amazing. And he used to be a hypnotherapist, a clinical
Absolutely.
hypnotherapist like me. So I didn't know that until later down the track.
Right.
I didn't know that. And that's what's profound as well, is because I read his book, changed the way I thought. I was working as a dental hygienist for 32 years.
Mm.
And I decided that I was going to change careers. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I was a healer
Right.
and hence led to all the healing modalities. But the hypnotherapy, I was at home, and again, this story's in my book. I was on my treadmill just listening to YouTube, and a random story came on. My kids are playing in front of me, and it was Marissa Peer, and she was
Mm.
talking about the theta brainwave state.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's like the magical brainwave state that miracles can occur, healings, spontaneous healings can happen. And I
Right.
was so keen on this brainwave state. I was like a sponge. And I jumped off my treadmill going, okay, I've learned other modalities. I learned theta,
Theta
the
waves.
yeah, that I can't think of it. I've done 3 courses in it, and right now on the spot I can't think of it, but it doesn't matter.
Quantum.
No, it was theta healing.
Oh, theta healing. Okay.
Yeah, theta healing with Ines de Ball. No, is that her name? Ines de Ball.
Hmm.
No, that's not her name. Oh, doesn't matter. I'm going all over the shop here, but that led me to that, and I couldn't get any clients, and I was working in dentistry, and then trying to get clients to do this theta healing, this theta.
Right.
Anyway, when I got on the treadmill and I started listening to Marissa Peer, that came on randomly, and she started speaking about the theta brainwave state. And then she said, I'm a hypnotherapist. I thought, that's my platform. That's the modality I'm choosing. Literally so spontaneous. Jumped off the treadmill, said to the kids, Mum's going to be a hypnotherapist.
That connected with you with your spirit.
It connected with my spirit, yeah.
Yes. You felt you resonated with it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I just knew. You know, you just know.
When
And
you just know.
Yes.
Yes.
You just know. And that's how it started. I got on the internet and I started Googling courses in my own country, and
Right.
everything aligned. The timing of the course, it aligned with my holidays, with my current work, my
Right.
past work situation. And I did it, and I haven't looked back. And this year I'm completing my 4th year of education. Even though I'm qualified and working as a clinical hypnotherapist, I've done the
Congratulations.
certificate. Yeah, thank you. Certificate, diploma, advanced diploma. And
Right.
now I'm finishing the associate degree and doing some research into it as well. So
Exciting.
that's how it
Exciting.
happened. And I basically help people become the best versions of themselves, which is a
Themselves.
blanket for,
You empower people.
yes. And whether it
Yes.
be helping them through depression or anxiety or a purpose in life.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's a big thing. So that's how
That's
I help.
amazing. So how can we find your book? Do you
Oh,
have your
sure.
own website to purchase it, or is it on Amazon? How can we find it?
Thank you. Yeah, Amazon's the best way, and it's on Kindle and it's on Audible as well. And then all the other ones like Google, is it Google Books or Google Play? And there's lots of modality, sorry, not modalities, platforms where it can be available. But the main ones are the ones I mentioned.
And
Yeah.
the book is entitled "Discover Your Hidden Potential"
Yes, and then I've got a subheading: A Guide to Discover Your True Essence to Live Your Best Life.
by Natalie Gardner.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to have a link to that book as well and incorporate it in the description of this segment. You also have a
Thank
podcast
you.
as well. You give us just
Yes.
a little bit of insight on that.
Fun bit. Okay, so that's called Breadcrumbs to Blueprints, and it links to what I was saying. I was on my, I don't like coining things anymore, a spiritual journey, although I do validate that, but I was on my journey to discovering who I am. I started the channel Breadcrumbs to Blueprints, and in fact, in
Right,
the book, there's no chapters as such. I've called them breadcrumbs that
right,
lead to the blueprints, and I've described every blueprint of what I've discovered of who we truly are.
right.
So the channel was about me doing that, and it was just very, I'm going to say backyarderish, but I've managed to improve it a bit in how it appears. But I went into this whole interest in psychics because I
Okay.
saw that man, at the
Yes,
front, and
that's
I
a
thought,
gift, by the way,
yeah,
because everybody can't see that, you know,
yeah, I didn't know,
or they
and
haven't tapped into it. I believe
they haven't
everyone
tapped into
can do
it.
what they want
Yeah.
to, but everybody has not connected with that ability, that power. But you
Yeah, I
have.
totally agree with you, Lou. Yeah, I totally
Yes.
agree with you, Lou. Yeah, it is there innately and we can develop it. And
Right.
so the channel, I interviewed a whole lot of psychics, so you'll see that. And then I've even, I did this great story of this ghost teleporting out of this arch,
Mm,
literally a cement arch that was like the entrance to a cemetery. It's on
right.
there. It's real footage taken from a security camera.
Oh,
That was
wow.
really exciting. Yeah, and interviewed some amazing people, and I did that to showcase what they do, but mainly because I was curious to know where this ability has come from within me.
Right.
And so, yeah, Breadcrumbs to Blueprints is my channel. I'd love more subscribers, and I think I have great content. Some videos have got, nearly 200 views, and some just have 40, but it doesn't matter. It's for whoever's meant to see
Absolutely.
it, I guess.
Absolutely. And if you haven't shared with me that link to your channel, please email that to me as well so that I can incorporate that into the description of the segment when it's uploaded. That way, uh,
Thank you.
everyone can just go into the description, click on that link, and yes, everyone go to her channel. Your channel is called what? Breadcrumbs to blueprints? Oh,
Blueprints.
that's a
Yeah,
tongue
the
twister.
blueprints. It is. It is.
Yes,
I've had to
breadcrumbs
get my
to
tongue twisted.
blueprints.
That's it.
Yeah, so yeah, check out Natalie Gardner's channel It sounds very
Yeah,
interesting. I'm going to check it out myself. And yeah, go
yeah.
on there. Yeah.
And
And also, can you share with us any, do you have a website or any other links that you could share with us right now that people can find you?
oh, right. Yeah, sure. So there's the Ultramind spelt with an A. And we'll put the link there, ultramind .com.au. That's for the hypnotherapy. Then I
Right.
have, well, should 2 days a week, I work in the healing room. So it's the healing room Adelaide.com.au. I can't remember if there's an AU at the end, but I'll send you the link. And
Yes.
another one I've just started. This is my third baby. They're all babies to me, all the things that I do and put all
Yes.
my
Your
love and energy
passions.
into them. Yeah, my passions. Yeah,
Yep.
is the Ultramind Academy. The
Okay.
website will say it's being constructed because I'm working on it behind the scenes.
Wow.
But I began the
Exciting.
Ultramind Academy, a school, because now that I've discovered who we truly are and
Right.
how broad we are and what we can do with our minds and how words aren't bubbles of nothingness. They have form. I know our thoughts have form, and
Right.
everything is worth something in collective consciousness. So
Absolutely.
I've put together this school so people can explore themselves, and I focus on three things: intuition, developing, letting
Mm,
that person find out what
insight.
intuition is,
Yes.
yeah, the strongest with them, because there's different ways of receiving messages:
Right.
clairvoyance, clairsentience, taste, smell, hear, touch, feel. But also, then I've incorporated a course in remote viewing
Mm,
because
okay.
anyone can learn that. It's a series of steps. And when you can learn that, then you're really in touch with that subconscious or unconscious mind. You can turn the volume up to it, and it
Wow.
assists us in life.
Right.
And the third thing I'm doing, this is the big drum roll now because I haven't announced it. You are the first place I'm announcing this. Yeah, I'm super excited. But I am teaching, here we go, mind sight, to be able to see without your ocular vision,
Mm,
without your physical eyes,
right.
to be able
Powerful.
to see color, to be able to navigate. So it'll even help the blind be able to see without their eyes, be able to
Mm,
walk down a street. And there's
okay.
been reports of people that are very advanced in their skill because it is something that has to be practiced. They can
Amazing.
even drive cars, Loot.
What?
They can drive cars without their ocular vision. They can even read books, and that's what I'm
Wow.
training people
That's
to
something
do.
that's something amazing to tap into. It's
Oh
scary,
yeah,
but I mean, and I don't even want to put that title on there. It's just unknown because that's one thing I don't want to teach is being fearful of unknown. That does not, it's just curiosity and openness to learn and to understand.
yes.
That's it.
We'll change the fearful with
Yes,
exciting.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm thankful, and see, you just saw it in real time of how I really, um, live my life. Is I catch myself saying something that's disempowering or thinking a certain way, and I talk to myself, nope, that's not it, and give myself sort of a mental abortion and do it again. It's like no,
Luke, what you've just said really resonates with me. That is exactly that what I help my clients to do is to become the witness to themselves. And you have
right,
just demonstrated that so eloquently and
right,
perfectly
right,
because you did. You said it and went, oh, I have just witnessed myself saying something perhaps disempowering or
right,
a lower vibrational word. That's why I say words are powerful
right,
and
right,
that we have to be conscious into the words we select. And we're all human, but
right.
it's not about perfection. What's
No,
perfection anyway? But
no,
it's about exactly what you did, picking ourselves up in the moment, identifying it, and
right.
then developing a new narrative and changing it for the better.
Right. Yes,
I love
because
what you did.
thank you. I appreciate that because yes, I am aware now that just because, and I like to put it out there, just because we don't understand something, that does not necessarily mean you have to identify it with fear. No, it should be excitement and inquisitiveness and understanding at least, and then whatever way you want to see it after that, but at least look into it first before you put especially in my perspective, a disempowering, fear-based title to something. Get some
Yes,
understanding about it first. And
yes,
yes, and I'm thankful that I'm because of I work on myself daily, that I'm able to do things like that, like catch myself saying something to myself or to someone else that I can quickly correct. And like you said, Natalie, it's not about perfection. It's just about trying to not trying, but just being a better version and being your highest self. And part of that is getting rid of those things, or recognizing, at least observing those things that really don't serve us. Because a
Yeah,
fear can come into to help us in certain aspects if we're being chased by a lion or something like that, or
exactly.
Lord forbid that that ever happens. But but just to automatically apply that to everything, I don't think it's very conducive to, who we really are, the powerful beings that we are. So,
Yeah.
yes,
Can you
yes,
imagine? Exactly, I agree with you 100%. Can you imagine that we, if we could erase, or when we're babies and we're born, we're blank slates,
right,
and we're on basically a diet of baby food
right,
and
right,
beliefs that come from our carers or parents.
right,
And so that those beliefs construct our subconscious programming, and
right.
they become buried in the subconscious and they become automatic. And
Absolutely.
those beliefs from 0 to 7, because we don't have the conscious analytical mind from
Right,
0 to 7 to actually logically go, hey, that doesn't fit. We're just
right,
kids and we're sponges and we absorb everything. But
right.
some of the beliefs that we put together don't facilitate us in life. And when
Mm,
we start hitting walls, then we know there's a subconscious belief that needs to be found and challenged and
right,
re-narrated.
right.
And
Reprogrammed.
so, yeah, that's it. It's the programming. So awareness, step one, awareness, becoming the witness to yourself, is
Important.
the key. That's why
Right,
they say know thyself as step
right,
one, because when you know what triggers you, you know what your beliefs are, you know when that was formed, and you've done the work around it,
right,
then even though you will still be triggered because it's a memory. We can't
right.
erase our brains of memories and experiences. But what we can do is become empowered in the moment to recognize it and say, I just got triggered by this situation, whether it will be something external or something within your mind that you're
Right,
thinking.
right,
And then we can actually, in the moment, go, right, I've done the work on that, and I choose to respond differently instead of reacting like we're unconscious to it, knee jerk
absolutely.
reactions.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is how that's the work right there. To be a better version of ourselves is to become the witness to ourselves and to do the work. And sometimes you do need, and that's why I help people, you do need somebody to help you, because
Right,
I do hypnotherapy, and this is going back to your question, to regress people to perhaps when it was that they didn't feel like they were good enough, or they can't speak in public, or
right,
they don't like crowds. Well,
right,
I take them back to that. I regress them, and then we find out what it was, and then they can view themselves from an adult's perspective and
right,
re-narrate that, and that's sort of like a circuit now that gets completed, and the intensity of it when we're moving through life and those triggers gets turned down. The volume gets turned down. So even though we still get triggered and we are reminded, it doesn't affect us in the same way. And to
right,
know that we always have a choice in our response. The more and more, this is my analogy. I love my little analogy. The more and more we get to know ourselves and do the work and find out where those beliefs came from, and why we keep getting the same situation happening over and over again.
right,
Liken that to a tree. The more and more you get to know yourself, the deeper the roots grow into the earth,
right,
because you've got so much wisdom and knowledge. The
right,
thicker the trunk, because it's steady now. Okay, it's so thick and steady because you know who you are. You're exploring yourself on so many levels. The trunk is now getting so much nourishment from all of that wisdom. It's so strong. And then you've got the branches extending out into the heavens. You've got the weather, the storms come, the hurricanes, the sun, the winds, the rain. And that's situations in life. But you stand strong and tall because you know who you are. You've done the work, and you are no
right,
longer triggered and reacting. You are the
right,
witness. You see, feel the winds. You see, like a tree, the sun, but you stand grounded. And you can, as a human being, we can make the choice. And being the tree to me is my little analogy, my narrative in my own mind, that when things come around, I go, "Ooh, there's a trigger." And I say to myself, where am I feeling that in my body?
Mm,
Okay,
amazing.
yeah, I'm feeling that in my chest. I feel that in my gut, or I feel that in my throat. A lot of times it's these areas in the head. And then I go, there it is. I call it the old chestnut. That's that old chestnut. I've worked on that and I choose to let it go. I
Wow.
choose to make the choice to be happy, to live empowered, instead of letting somebody ruffle my feathers, bring my positive thoughts down, and then be agitated.
Wow.
So
That's
it is, yeah. Go ahead,
that's
Luke.
no, I
Sorry.
was just gonna say that's absolutely amazing. And that is something that I work on myself and in body and am aware of as well. The difference between emotionally reacting and giving away your power, than calmly responding and taking a few moments to have a dialogue with yourself, self-reflect, and really
Yes.
empower yourself and grow from these situations. But yes, we're down to about 3 more minutes, so I would like to
Okay.
conclude this segment. But I appreciate you very much, Natalie, for coming on and just bringing more incredible value to this podcast and just sharing, and would more than be honored to have you back on again. Just thank you very much.
Um,
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd be honored to come back on too. And your vibe, Luke, is so warm and
Thank you.
so it's lovely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
The feeling's mutual. I really enjoy speaking with people, and I honestly believe that I know I can even graduate past the belief. Belief is strong, but knowing to me is stronger. Knowing that I attract the right people to engage in a dialogue with and learn from. I know that I do that. So it's amazing.
You
This is not
do,
a
yeah.
coincidence that we are here today. So that's why I really do express sincere gratitude when I say that. I'm
Thank you.
thankful, and this is therapy
Me
for
too.
me, and this enhances my life. Just listening to people like beautiful souls such as yourself, and how you are elevating yourself and humanity. Amazing. So thank you very much once again for being here, Natalie.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Yeah, absolutely an honor. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you, everyone. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button. Go into the description, hit those links. We're going to have Natalie's links on there so you can check her out. And amazing. I appreciate everyone. Until next time, see you soon. Enlightened, empowered, evolved. Love and appreciation to everyone. Thank you.